Good afternoon. Hi, Barbara. You are first in the house. How you doing, sweetheart? Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Happy Monday. Waiting for everybody to come on in. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Hello, Ellen. Hi, Holly. How are you? Hi, Retretta. I'm doing good, sweetheart. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you for asking. Had a nice, uneventful day. I'm feeling a lot better than I did yesterday, I tell you. My daddy used to say, it sucks getting old. And I used to say, Daddy, stop. Now I know what he meant. Hi, Fonda. How are you, Earth Angel? I hope you're doing well. You put on this music. Dun, 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 dun. I think I might look into getting some new music, making some new music. I am rested, Retretta. I really am. I didn't do a whole lot today. Just kind of watched YouTube. I don't watch mainstream media much anymore, so I get a lot of my news right off of YouTube. I try to use plain and common sense when it comes down to deciphering it. You have to. I was watching King Payne this afternoon, and this was from a live a few days ago, and I had no idea that I'm not gonna come right out and accuse her. However, it does pretty much look like Allie Carter is a big fraud. I've learned so much about that situation today. Hi, Sean. How are you? How goes the battle? But I figure I'll look more into that situation and I'll talk about that a little later. Hi, Real Life Chronicles. Hello, Letha. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. I love me some King Payne. He tickles me. But, I love it when he gets real serious. He's funny, but he knows how to get serious, too. Hello, Let's Go Slots. Yes, I enjoy watching him because he gets the receipts as well. I'm learning how to, navigate that area. But, a lot of stuff is plain and common sense as well. I found out stuff about that girl today. I had no idea. I did watch a little bit of PW. I like his new studio. His name right there on the front of the desk, plain as day. You can't, hey, we know who he is now. Name just as big as day. It's really nice, though. I like the way he's got it set up so far. Really nice. I'm sure that lighting was not cheap. Big old letters. So yes, I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. We didn't do a whole lot of everything, but Diamond is upset with everyone having something to say. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Hi, Anthony. How are you? Yeah, Barbara, I'll be honest with you. I didn't get to watch a whole lot of his show it was kind of late and I dozed off, so I didn't hear any of that. But that doesn't surprise me either about Diamond. Diamond can be very opinionated at times, but again, that's her mama. And I understand that aspect. But for it to be public, when it goes public, people are going to talk about it. I know, Barbara. I totally understand that. But even if it hadn't been those two individuals talking about it, how do we know how she would react if it was someone else? I'm surprised who ain't reporting on it. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm rather surprised that the guy next door, who I'm talking about, didn't drop that information first. Matter of fact, I talked to his daughter the other day. Well, we texted back and forth, and she's doing well. She's doing very well. Yeah, aren't you surprised about that, Barbara? I wonder where his head is at right now. It certainly isn't on YouTube now, huh? Oh, boy. But hey, that's his business. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I've washed my hands of that vermin. And I'm going to continue to call it what it is. Hello, Millionaires Cove. Retretta says, Auntie, if you change the music, please let it stay jazz. I do intend to keep it jazz, sweetheart. Yeah. Diamond feels they are against her. I don't, you know what? I have no comment either way. Because there's nothing that those people can do that could affect the outcome. You know what I'm saying? I would just pay them dust, if it's like that. Just don't even pay them no attention. Just keep going about your business. Don't let other people have any impact on how you conduct your family business. Exactly, boy. He is. That's what he do. That's what he do. And I've got a sneaky suspicion. I know something behind closed door or behind the scenes, but I can't speak on it specifically because I don't have direct knowledge. But something tells me he working with somebody. I ain't gonna name that person. Exactly, Barbara. Just handle her business. Hi, Faith. How are you, my love? Yeah, well, he's definitely he's doing something. But he sure ain't doing Angie Stone no more, not right this moment. So whatever has got his attention must be more important. Wow. I am wonderful, Faith. I'm well rested. You know what? I keep forgetting to turn this camera on. I'm sorry. I'm just sitting here talking. Oh, yes. Hi, Nadine. Hi, beautiful. My beautiful kinfolk in the house. Beautiful kinfolks in the house. So yeah, I would love to be a fly on the wall, just to see what's going on in that little calculated gamadocious brain. Please. A mess. A mess. As Danny says, a mess, a mess, a mess. Big old mess. Exactly. Little leprechaun. Millionaire Retretta will not be going slot on the meet and greet, but I will do search and find out all about that city I need to know beforehand. Okay. So you're saying that Retretta and Millionaire's Cove are not going to go to the slots. Is that what you're saying, sweetheart? When we go to Vegas? Because there's other things to do. They got shows, go to eat. There's all kind of other stuff. We ain't got to go to the slot machines all the time. Those that want to go play slots can go play slots. We as a group, we can go out to dinner. We can go see a show. Hi, Lisa. How are you? Okay, maybe I misread. Auntie, I can't stand that long. I answered million. Oh, okay, my bad. I can't stand that long either. I have to sit down. Definitely. But Retretta, the last time I went to Vegas, I rented one of them scooters. Sure did. I was all over the place. Because of my back, I can't stand and walk that much. So they have those things available. Every hotel has them. Yeah, they do take your money quick, Faith. But now, if you bid real low and know your limit, yes, them scooters are the truth. Them scooters are the truth. I went nowhere without it. Just got to get used to how you drive them, because they can take off on you. Yes. So anybody that may possibly need a scooter, I do too, Barbara. I play them penny machines. I don't play them $5 a spin. No, ma'am. But I think we're going to have a good time. I really do. There's plenty of different things to do. Me too, Nadine. I am really looking forward to it. That's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. And I'm going to bring Uncle Barry with us. Him and Charles, they can link up. They'll probably go shopping or something. Them two are just like one person. Shoes, clothes, and cars. I'm surprised he's not even in here. Barry is not in here right now. Yeah, Millionaire's Cove. I think we're going to go to Vegas. That's going to be probably the best bet. Okay, Barbara said, when I first started playing, it was $1 and nothing less, but I found out fast. When I first started playing slot machines, it was them old ones. It was the quarter machines. And the maximum you could spend was $75 a spin. Or 75 cents a spin, I'm sorry. 3 quarters. And that pissed me off. So actually, them penny machines take more money than them quarter machines did back in the day. When you think about it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'll probably come down there a day before everybody. We're looking at possibly May, Faith. Yeah, them old coins that used to drop out. Oh, they don't do that now. I played 75 cents at the Borgata in August 1, 1455 and ran out of the key. Ellen, that's just what I did too. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe. Oh, you're only 2.5 hours from Vegas. Okay, Barbara, that's it. That's cool with you. Yeah, I hated them coins, especially if you were playing a nickel machine and they drop all the nickels and they spill out and you have to have the bucket. And oh man, I'm like, no. I was glad when they turned everything over into the paper. Hey, magnificent one. How are you, love? Yeah, them nickel and dime machines, but them coins was just dirty. It didn't matter if they was quarters, dimes, nickels, pennies. I'm glad they've got the little tickets that you spit out when you win or when you want to move on to another machine. I'm doing good. Thank you. Thank you so much. So yeah, I'll probably get down there the day before you guys arrive. Yes, they did used to jam a lot. But you know what? Them new ones do too now. They're so big and, eye-catching, but they still got to go in and change those, the cards, the little pieces of slips that come out. They get jammed sometimes too. Or they run out. So it's like from the frying pan into the fire. Yep, got to change that paper. Yes, ma'am. So I think what I'll do is I'll go like the day before. I'll go down there the day before everybody gets there, and I'll go to the store and get a bunch of food to cook it up. Just so we can have a little meet and greet in our hotel first. And then we'll get out and about. We'll do something. We will do something. I'm looking forward to it. Are you all going to plane to Vegas? I know I am. I ain't driving. That's too long of a drive. When I was younger, I didn't mind going on little road trips in the car, but not now. Mm-mm. Okay, I'm gonna put this up on the set. Auntie, over the weekend I found a channel that gave a lot of freebies for seniors. A lot of things I didn't know. I ride Delta, so I am contacting Delta for all their information ASAP. Good for you. Yes, do that. Honey, get everything you can while you can. Hi, Love Jones. Hello. Yes, get everything you can. We deserve it. We done lived this long, shoot. We should get all kind of perks. Absolutely. Give up the perks. Give up the perks. Oh, really? And she can stay there too. And they can dance a jig together. Man, please. You got on my nerves anyway. She really did. Stay on over there. He could use the company. If you open up a credit card with United, they will give you $250 off a ticket. Yeah. I hear you, Barbara. Always watching the chat. Another thing to do, I don't know if you guys use Expedia. Is anybody here familiar with Expedia? Because Expedia, you can get good deals off of Expedia too. You can get those package deals, plane, hotel, all that. What, Millionaire's Code? What I do? Hi, Chandra. How are you, sweetheart? And Priceline, yes. Priceline is good too. I get my best deals from Expedia though. Auntie Mickey, what is the date in May? Because my daughter is due in May, my grandbaby, but not sure exactly date yet, but we'll be finding out soon in a couple of weeks her exact date. We haven't really set a date yet, love. It'll be somewhere around May. It could even be April for all we know. But I wanted to do it at a time where it's not so hot. Because it gets hot as fish grease down there in the summer months. So depending on the, yes, she can stay over there. Over there where you're needed. Because I don't need no monitor. She got on my damn nerves with that mess. May is hot in Vegas? Okay. Auntie, help me if you can. I need to find someone in South Carolina or nearby in Augusta, Georgia, because they can be my caretaker and they can ride free. Yes, I know about Expedia, Priceline, and I will check. Okay, so you need to find someone in South Carolina or nearby in Augusta to be your caretaker for the trip. Are you talking about for the trip, love? Down South Stitcher, hello, sweetie. Okay, Retretta. I'll see what I can find out for you. I'm not sure what avenues to take, though. But I'll see what I can look into. Okay? Last time I went to Vegas, I brought in the snow, and it never snows in Vegas. My brother was like, go back to the Midwest. You brought this snow. We don't like it. Get out of here. Take this snow with you. Okay, I would love to meet you all. I'll be flying from Tampa, Florida to Vegas, and I'm used to the hot weather. Okay, Holly. Okay. Okay, it was in February. Okay, you went in February, Faye. Okay. Well, I tell you, it's going to be fun. But, we like the heat. I just don't like melting. I can't do all that melting. I can't. I have a hard enough time right here in this office. Sweat be pouring off the top of my head, and I'll be like, ain't no heat on. What's wrong? Hold on, I'll be right back. Hold on just a second. Absolutely. I will I'll check the weather first. You guys hold on, my daughter-in-law is about to leave. Be right back. Hey, love.
Closer to midnight.
Oh, okay. Well, I know your husband is. Ooh, can't wait for you to get home.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. I'm on live right now, so but you have a safe flight. Love you. Nice meeting you, sweetheart. Oh. Okay. Oh, I made it back. My daughter-in-law is about to go to the airport. Hi, baby. How you doing? I was just sending Taylor off. Her friend is going to take her to the airport. Yeah, me and this hot don't mix either. It is not the business. Personal summers. All year round, it seems. I know, I'm not muted. I was talking to y'all. I was talking to y'all too. Yes, we will have a blast. Hey, Camille, how are you, sweetheart? Yes, I can't wait now. I'm looking forward to this trip. So we're going to definitely look into it. Matter of fact, I got to get together with Jess as well. And see what we going to do. Let me turn this down. Absolutely. Well, honey, I hope you're not working too hard. Save the overtime for me. Okay. I guess it's time I should get going with this, with what I'm going to talk about tonight. This is a follow-up to Dacara Thompson. And I'm sure you guys know already that, they found the body. They've got a suspect. It's awful. It is absolutely awful. But I was watching Tisa Tells today. Oh, her mother's speaking out too? I think I might have that, Camille. They got a girl too? See, what are y'all seeing? I be looking for stuff and I can't find this stuff. Y'all, we need to trade places. You need to be up here because y'all be having the scoop long before I get to it. For real. You saw it on YouTube. You know what? YouTube has so much information. Wow. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't getting to it quick enough. But we gonna still talk about it though. There was another one, Shanitra Speaks, that had some very interesting takes on this. Wait a minute, let me see if she's... Yes, YouTube is the news. One thing I've discovered is that you're not going to find out what you really need to find out looking at CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, all that stuff. You're not going to find anything on there that's really beneficial to our everyday thing here. Yep, yep. I agree, Retretta. Hold on a second. Okay, is she getting in the car now? She was going to catch an Uber to the airport, but her friend is taking her this time. So, yeah, and the other thing that kind of gets in my way is that I'm still working during the day. So I can't just, especially with a baby. Gotta tend to him, and this boy's walking now, so oh my God, gotta stay on top of him. Let me turn this down just a little bit more. Okay, I know y'all been following Maggie's going to court thing. Yeah, I'm going to pull this one up. The one that Tisa Tells talked about earlier, about the second arrest. That's right, Retretta. I agree. Let me pull this one up. This is from 19 hours ago. She posted this 19 hours ago. And Tisa's was posted... let's see. Where'd it go? I just had it. That was a day ago. Okay. So... Auntie, when we book, we should book for ticket and hotel pack. Yes. We're going to have to decide, though, as a group, what hotel we're going to go with. And then when you book your tickets, when you book your flight, depending on if you go through, Expedia or whatever, just make sure that you put your hotel package in with your ticket. Is it getting so... Yes, down south Stitches. She is getting old with this mess. Oh my, her and her court shit is getting so old. It's the same thing every day and affecting other CCs into everyday crazy. Absolutely. Yes, I saw that too, Camille. I saw that the paperwork said that they're demanding a jury trial. Yes, take AARP for real. Oh, you did, Rhonda? You see, I got my tail up out of there too, didn't I? Well, I did play. I ain't gonna lie, I did play one more game after that, but then I won 150 from that, so I got up out of there. Mama didn't raise no fool. Well, Mama didn't make me no fool, I'll put it like that. Sometimes I've been a fool before. Millionaire's Cove says she needs prayer. Who we talking about? That maggot over there? She need more than prayer if that's who you're talking about. Big bank, big bank. Big bank, big bank. Yeah. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. But yeah, she's just hell bent on this so-called court case, and there's no way in the blue hell she's gonna get. First of all, she can't get a lawyer that's willing to take that case. There's nothing substantial there that would cause her to even be close to winning. Hi, Mr. Phillips. Hey, Auntie Mickey's, how are you tonight? I'm doing great. How are you, sir? Yeah, ain't nobody gonna take that case. Shoot. JP Patches wouldn't take that case. Captain Kangaroo wouldn't take that case. That case is so flimsy. And you know, when they get to discovery, what they gonna do then? They gotta pull out all their little receipts. Exactly, down south Stitch. You hit the nail on the head. You ain't got no content, boo boo. None. You have no content. This is your content. Going after people. Now, I'm probably just as bad as her right now because now I'm giving her something to talk about. If she even finds out that I've been talking about, because I don't usually talk about the wench. You had one number right on the Powerball. How many do you need though? 5? You need 5 or 6 for the Powerball. Now my husband plays them things. I don't buy lottery tickets, but I'll sit there and play a slot machine. Make it make sense. I guess it's more exciting that way. It's like playing a game. No, she's not creative at all, sweetheart. Exactly, down south Stitcher. It's just repetitive bull. Repetitive every day. Yeah, she scammed them people. Where is the $1,000? Where is the $1,000? Did you put it in your PayPal account and spend it? Because don't forget, while she was raising that $1,000, she had the audacity to ask her subscribers or somebody to send her $40 for some alcohol. What are you begging for? You know I can't stand a beggar. I'm sorry. I can't stand a beggar. I don't like when they beg in church. I'll be the first to say that. No, she ain't gonna never say that. Because then her subscribers would know that we've been telling them the truth all this time. She's scamming y'all. She like somebody else we know. Big old scammer. Big old scamadocious. Yeah, she needs money. Y'all haven't seen that little piece of 2 rooms in the basement they trying to rent out to the public. Someone won in Texas, Mr. Phillips. It was 4 numbers or $4. Wait a minute. 1.8 billion. Lord have mercy. That would solve a lot of things for me. That would solve a lot of things for me. Maybe she should play the lotto. Do they have a lotto over there in Canada? Y'all should see that raggedy basement that they trying to rent out for $1,200 in her house. It is sad. 2 people won the Powerball, one in Texas and one in Missouri. Hi, Victoria Morris. Hi, Desire and Fire. Call out. $4 on the Powerball number. Wow. Yes, I agree, down south Stitcher. My biggest wish would be her and her followers stay over there and believe what she says, and the others stay on their end and continue with their own content. Absolutely. It would be more beneficial to all of us. Auntie, did you hear about the Apostle David Taylor out of St. Louis? No. What did he do? What did he do? Wait a minute. Is this the one? Wait a minute. Is this the one that big heavy set dude? His hairline is like halfway to the back of his head. Heavy set dude, and he's been getting millions of dollars out of his congregation. Oh my goodness, Barbara, that's a lot. You like don't get me wrong, I like seeing the little black owl twins. Oh, you know that little thing works though, to scare off anything that might be coming through here in the night. If I sit it out there on my porch, them crows fly the other way. Okay, Faith, can you send me an email about that? Send me an email about that. I would love to look into that. Yes, he was just in. I saw a little piece of that. No, it's not hurting no one down South Stitcher, except maybe her little feelings. And she don't mind hurting other people's feelings with her lies. This is just fun. But yeah, this little lawsuit is bogus. It's frivolous. All those names. I heard about the preacher who locked his church up and what? Oh, wait a minute. Mr. Phillips. When did this happen? He locked his church up and deleted, unalived all his people? What was his name? Jim Jones? Good grief. That's crazy. That is sick. I'm going to look into that too. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. It's getting crazier and crazier. When they doing stuff like that inside the church house, you know, we ain't got much time left. It was on YouTube. Golly. That made me choke on my tea. Lord have mercy. Do you know what state it was in? That is so sad. And it happened a month ago. Lord have mercy. These people done gone beyond crazy, Barbara. No reverence for God's house at all. None. When I saw Marvin Sapp tell the ushers to lock the doors, that told me something right then and there. That apostle man, you know I will. Yep, and it was a black church. Now that's the part that kills me. It was a black church. You know, we don't do stuff like that. At least we ain't known for doing stuff like that. You right, Barbara. So-called pastors are raging wolves in sheep's clothing, in it for the buck. Lord have mercy. Don't get me started on these pastors and some of these churches, because now churches become a big multi-billion-dollar business. Okay, Mr. Phillips, we'll be right here. You know, the sad part about the church is that they've taken away the whole purpose of having church. Geno Jennings, that brother ain't no joke. Now, he one of them old school preachers. And he get rough with it. But some of the things he be saying, I got to say, you know, you're right. He can get kind of harsh. But, you know, Faith said the church is full of pimps and woes. Woes and hoes. And 304s. Oh my God. Oh my God. Well, don't get me started on these folks. Oh my God. I'm gonna share. Yes, he does. He calls them out. He don't care who it is, how big they are, how popular they are. He will call them out. That's why you don't see a whole lot of them running to him, because they don't want to be exposed. Geno will expose them right there where they stand. Wow. YouTube just put out different videos pop up on my timeline. Auntie, these are demonic spirits in the pulpit. Absolutely. A church is a building and a business. It's like you got to be careful as well. You sure do. You sure do have to be careful. This screen right here, ain't no telling what kind of demonic spirits are coming off out of that screen. I understand what you meant. Oh my God. Got to be more careful. Yes, we have 44 people in the chat, and 45 people in the chat, and we have 42 likes. I am impressed. Thank you. But if you forgot to hit the like button, please do so. Please do so. It took a long time to pull off. Oh, honey. Well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share this screen. We're going to talk about Dacara Thompson. Okay, hold on. Let me turn this down. I don't like the music playing when I'm sharing. So, let me share the video. Share the screen. I'm going to play the Tisa Tells one first.
Here. And you just have to edit the text?
Imagine a daughter, your daughter, bright, beautiful, 19 years old. And imagine her being tragically found, tossed over the bridge like a bag of garbage. Now imagine the same people on the internet sending thoughts and prayers to your family are now the main people trying to say that your baby, who is gone at 19 years old, was a woman of the night, was a worker, and making up fan fiction to try to twist their head into how her tragic passing is somehow her fault. And these were the same people that were throwing up badges of protection when people were saying, what do the parents know about it? You guys, what am I talking about?
I agree with her. That's why I pulled this up, because once they, oh, thank you, Mr. Phillips. I'm going to look for it. 8 with the 24. Hello, sweetheart. Hello, my love. This is what I wanted to talk about. How now that we know that this is her that has been found, now they're making her out to be something bad without knowing all the facts. It's I can't imagine what her family is dealing with right now. Well, we're not sure if, do we know that she knew him, Faith? Or did she just meet him? I don't know. But it's just, we know that he unalived her in his room, in his bedroom. And there were people in the house or in the apartment that stated that they could hear noises from the bedroom, and it sounded like one of the people was not enjoying themselves. Now, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out what that meant. Let me go ahead and finish playing her.
Dacara, let's say her name, Dacara, gone too soon. I know you guys have already heard, but there's new information coming out. One of the family members, first of all, the demon that actually threw her over the bridge like a bag of trash, they are going to be in court on, I believe it is Monday.
Absolutely 8 with the 24, no matter what. She didn't deserve that. And that's the point I'm trying to make. It seems as though when certain, and I don't want to become the channel that's always anti this, anti that, but I'm just going to call it the way I see it. It never fails when it comes to the sisters. They want to make the sisters out to be less than. I'll put it like that. Less than. Other folks, on the other hand, oh, it's such a terrible thing that happened to them, which it has. It was. And they're complete victims. There's nothing said about, oh, they shouldn't have been doing this or should. There's no criticism, is what I'm trying to say. Faith said, this is why I said, hold on to your babies. They just don't know what they're getting into. She didn't trust it herself. That's why she left her purse in the car and took that key fob with her. Yeah. We definitely, we try to pour into our kids, and, sometimes we just got to snatch them up and make them sit there and look at these videos. Before you run out the door to meet your friend, sit and watch this. Give them something to think about before they walk out that door. She didn't deserve this. I don't care what.
On Adapted Mind Reading, stories are designed to build vocabulary and comprehension.
I'm going to cover the case, okay? Along with everybody else, but come here. But all jokes aside, he's going to be. One of the family members have just gotten arrested. People are asking questions. How did they not know? You guys all live together. How does somebody come home at 10 o'clock at night with someone and you don't even know? How was blood found in the room and you sitting up there like, I don't know what happened? How did you not know that baby that walked into your house, because there was 1 million of y'all in there, that this wasn't the same girl that's been plastered all over the news in the tri-state area? But there's even more, okay? Because there are actually more women missing in the area. And there are lots of questions that people are asking. But the one thing I want to ask is, and let's start from the beginning, what is wrong with people? If you guys don't know what's going on with Dacara, let me bring you up to speed real quick. She was 19 years old. Okay. She went out to get gas. She was only gone an hour. Her dad felt something was off. Apparently, they had a very close relationship. Okay. She lived with her dad. Her parents were divorced, but co-parenting. She lived with her father. She was 19 years old, had her own job, own car, bright future, volunteered. Baby, she was a pillar of the community, pretty much. She was what you would hope everybody's 19-year-old daughter could be. She, for whatever reason, pulled over on the wrong side of the road in front of a fire hydrant. Okay. She left her key fob to get in. She left her wallet. She left her purse. And she was parked in front of the hydrant on the wrong thing. Okay. Now, in the video that the police first showed her, she was just walking. And the police already knew what happened. They were just trying to dot their I's. So they stayed on the video. So we just saw her walking. And everybody's like, what's going on? This and that, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to lie. Some people suspected the father. I did a video about it. I was like, I don't think the father had anything to do with it. However, and this had nothing to do with the father, most people are murked by people they know. Maybe not the father, maybe not the mother, but somebody that knows. So that is why with those investigations, they look at the family and friends first. I don't know what America you guys live in, not y'all, but the people in the back, but women are harmed, raped, murked by most of all people they know or people that they met in passing. That is just the way it is. Okay. So
Here's another thing. That is true. People are unalived every day by someone they know. There are also other people that are unalived and raped and assaulted by total strangers. Two things can be true at the same time. I just don't want people to think that it's the norm to automatically suspect the person that they know. I just don't want to look at it like that, because I wouldn't even say 9 times out of 10, but I would have to weigh on total strangers being culprits of things of this nature more so than family members, if you're looking at statistics. 8 with the 24 says she looked way too young for him. Ain't no way they didn't find it suspicious if they didn't say she was 19. I would have thought she was 15. Yeah, she did look very young. Yeah. And Love Jones, I'm glad you said that. I am so glad you said that. I think they need to investigate the other 2 missing women that were missing within 2 weeks of Dacara. Remember, they found panties in his room that weren't hers. Now, when I heard that, I was like, is this dude a serial deleter, rapist? You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go ahead.
ended up happening. All right. So then they released the full video once they catch that monster Hernandez, and she's walking to the car. She walks over to an SUV. They talk for a moment. She gets in, right? She gets in. He takes her to a house that he shares with his family. Kids live there. A husband lived there. A wife, an uncle. So many people live in that house. There was blood found in the bedroom, and her persons was found dumped over. He took her and dumped her over the bridge like a pile of trash.
Oh, that's disgusting.
This is the quickest way to clear out
you
stuff
guys
poop.
just
The
see
number
that?
one food for regular DMs, huh? Okay, let's see.
Fastest way to
Pardon the...
And from that, these monsters
Pardon that.
online are saying, oh my God, she was a sex worker. She was this, she was that. And I want to say to those people, what the hell is wrong with y'all?
Amen.
This is what I mean. This is what I mean. And if you first of all, on one level, it don't even make any sense. What sex worker you know leaving their cars, unlock their fobs, their purses, their wallets on the front seat?
That part.
And
You guys know how old this Joker is, right? This dude is 34 or 32. What is it? 32 or 34 years old. He's in his 30s. This man looked like he's 50 something years old. Is it just me? I don't. I just think that she might have been in some kind of distress of some kind, and she just trusted the wrong person. I don't think she knew this man. That look at these two. You honestly think that he looks as old as dirt. Fonda said he's street beaten. And he's an immigrant, an illegal immigrant. The video I saw today, there was a girl around her age. Okay, wait a second. The Magnificent says, allegedly, Auntie, she met him in a bar and she left with him. Okay. And what was the reason? We don't know the reason why she left with him. They're trying to make her out to be a prostitute. Lord, forgive me. Or YouTube, forgive me. I shouldn't have said the word. Not supposed to say it. They're trying to make it sound like she was an sex worker. That's what they're trying to create a facade. I don't believe that she was. He's old as dirt compared to her. Now, if she had some kind of trouble with her vehicle of some kind, and the fact that she left all those personal belongings in her vehicle, right, I saw that too, Magnificent. Who's to say he wasn't she might have said, hey, my car broke down or something of that nature. And he says, well, here, I can help you. I mean, there's so many different scenarios other than the fact that people want to paint the worst of the victim. People want to paint the worst possible picture of the victim. Pisses me off.
even if she was, which she was not, right? How does that mean that she deserves for anything to happen to her? See, the Diddy apologists to blame the victim pipeline it's there. One thing you can count on these people to do is to always take up for the men. They were throwing up cloaks of protection. How dare you accuse her father? And I get it, right? And with that, I was like, well, yeah, hell yeah. But see, that's the thing about these Captain Save-A-Hoes. They are the same people that's not saying, now y'all know what she was into. Because in your mind, you will find any reason never to hold the monsters accountable. What was she doing out at night? She must have been selling that cat. Have y'all ever been 19 years old? You mean to tell me that a 19-year-old with her own job, own money, loving family, and her own car, there's something untoward about her being out at 10 o'clock at night? Maybe when I was 19, I was in them streets. Sometimes I was at the supermarket. Sometimes I was chilling with my friends. Sometimes I was talking trash to a boy I had no business talking to.
She made a very valid point just now. I don't know about y'all, but when I was 18, 19 years old and I was legally grown, I legally went where the hell I wanted to go just because I could. And sometimes when you're young like that, you don't listen. You're in the realm of, I'm grown now. I can do anything I want to do. Sometimes we did things just because we could, whether it was bad or good. We were defying people that were telling us all our lives, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this. And then you get a certain age and then suddenly you're grown yourself and you can go pretty much, okay, I'm doing what I want to do now. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't make her a street walker. We have made some real, Faith, you just said it. We all have been young and we've made some crazy mistakes, but we live to tell it so we can tell other ladies to be aware. Exactly, Faith. That's what we're supposed to do. But unfortunately, there are some that don't get to live to tell anybody else the story. That's the whole thing. Retretta, you said it right too. Night times now are different. So that's that. No, you can't put today's ish back with back in the day. Now we all need to be careful. We sure do. It don't even matter if you're young or old. You got to be careful just as an individual. Because they are out there. They are lurking. You got something they want. It may not be between your legs. It might be in your purse. It might be in your bank account. It might be a person in your house that they want access to. They got some deranged people out here. But the youth, because they're the youth, they don't have the experience that we have. And it's really awful to peg someone this early in the game as something so ugly. It's almost like they were saying she had it coming. When you paint a picture of someone who's been unalived like that, and then come up with all these scenarios that she may have caused her own demise by going off with this guy, to a certain degree, yes, she was not careful. If she didn't know him, or even if she did know him, she was not careful enough. But she's young. She was a new driver. I mean, I was the first time I started driving, I was pregnant with my first child. I was 18, never driven a car before in my life. And I thought I was doing something. It makes you feel empowered, you know. So for something like this to happen to her, and to put this negative weight on her head, she ain't even in the ground yet. And again, the family is being completely disrespected with all of these insinuations out there. Keep them to yourself. If there are people going out there saying things like that in front of the family, then you know what? Don't feel bad when they bust you upside your head for saying it. I know I would. If somebody said something like that about one of my children that has been unalived, and you know, I'm grieving, and you have the audacity to say something like that in my presence, I'd split your head wide open and ask God to forgive me. You got to be careful though. And that's how we show our love to our young people. We may be boring the mess out of them. Absolutely, Love Jones. Love Jones says, I can't wait till the trial. Hope the judge and jurors slam him behind bars for life. And whoever his accomplices were as well. Because don't forget, she wasn't in that room, that house by herself, or apartment, or whatever it was. There were other people in there that could hear what was going on in the bedroom. And they sat there and they let that stuff go on. They are accomplices as well. Yes, she was too young to be in a bar, Barbara. And you know what that tells us? She was feeling her grown self. I know when I was younger, I wasn't 21 yet the first time I went inside a bar because I looked older than I should have. It's something about when you suddenly become grown, you become completely and utterly grown to a fault. You don't know it all. Turning a certain age does not make you seasoned. Vonda said, when I was 19, I was doing Peg Bundy, married with children. Amen to that. Faith says, Auntie, I saw the hurt in that mother's eyes. I know she felt something wasn't going to be good. She was hoping and praying, but I saw those eyes. Absolutely. That was grief. That was grief. That's her baby girl. Barbara Weaver said, the other people are probably used to the noise and things happening in that room. And you know what that means? If that's the case, they know what that man has been doing. Ain't nobody stupid. He felt comfortable enough to do that to her with other people in the house. That makes them accomplices. I think he's a serial, you know what?
And other times, yeah, I was getting gas. The fact that people are going over backwards and twisting their mind into how this is her fault. What was you doing out that late? What? At 19
Please.
years old? 10 o'clock at night? Where do y'all live? The Badlands? Gotham City? She must have been selling. Even if she was, which she was not. But the fact that there is a victim and there are so many women. I expect this mess from men.
Yep.
But so many women that are twisting reality and doing everything they can to blame it on her instead of looking at the victim. I'm sorry, looking at the demon and saying, what? How dare you? It's never the man's fault. It's always the woman. Shouldn't have been wearing that. Shouldn't have been out.
Magnificent. You said, but Auntie, a lot of college girls and young women, they go online and they make their money by dating men, unfortunately. Not saying that's what she was doing, but I know that they do. And you're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. But that don't mean all of them. That doesn't even mean a huge percentage of girls are doing that. I mean, if nothing, a lot of girls, they do OnlyFans, but they're not going out there meeting men in person. Auntie, I believe she was a young lady that did what she wanted to do, believing the mother couldn't handle her anymore or never could. That's why she was with her father. I thought about that too. Why was she living with her father? That's a good question. But again, that doesn't mean that she was out of control. That does not mean she was out of control. And so, you can't tell me nothing. That attitude. You know what I'm saying? We can only assume. And assuming is not going to solve anything.
What was you doing? Why she walk up to the car? She was selling cat. Right? And fan fiction besmirching this woman's name when she suffered at 19 when nobody would have to suffer. And they proudly doing it like they are CSI. What is wrong with y'all? I bet you if you looking at their bios, they're the ones saying, yeah, free Puff, he ain't do nothing. Cassie ain't a victim.
How you get a brand new roof in Greater Seattle and Western Washington starting at only $89 per month?
It's sick. It's sick. It's sick. At one point, we're going to have to start holding the monsters accountable. And I'm holding the monster accountable. I don't care if she was walking backwards, drunk, high, and everything in between, praising Satan with with $100 bill taped to her head, walking naked backwards. Nobody has the right to touch a woman. Nobody has the right to violate a child. Nobody has the right. And there's nothing you can do or say to ever change that. She didn't deserve it. The goal is not to hide your babies inside so that we live in a society that a grown woman, to a certain extent, I know she was a baby, but you get my point, can't go and get gas at 10 o'clock at night. Yeah, she walked up to the car, but we don't know if that man ain't pull a hammer out, ain't do nothing. It doesn't matter what she did. Nothing deserves to end like it did.
Malik, I agree with you that the entry into his car is the missing part. I'd like to know. I would like to know that too. I'd like to know why she got in his car. And we may never even know. Hi, Namaste. How are you, sweetheart? We may never know the real reason why she got into his car. You know, we don't know if she knew him. We don't know anything yet. Let's just say yet. This is so early in the game. But people can be so insensitive, especially dealing with, you know, people that are in the family. You can't just blurt things out around the family and say, oh, well, maybe she was a streetwalker or something. You liable to walk away with a busted skull. Faith says, Retretta, I had to go to my daddy because all of the guys that was trying to be around me and my grandmother felt my daddy could handle it better than her. Exactly. It's not like you was going after them, Faith. Sometimes, I know that to be true. Sometimes you might look a little older and you got it going on like that, and you attract older men, you know. And sometimes mama can't handle it. It takes a man to put another man in place in most cases.
And the sooner we stop blaming the victims and start looking into how we can keep the monsters off the street or put the fear of God in those monsters so they know if they even think, baby, hands getting cut off, electric chair, whatever you want. Play around if you want, but if we catch you, you're not getting a Diddy treatment. You're going to be under the jail. Again, it's all trickled down. The reaction that I see from, thank God most people have sense, but the reaction I've seen has truly sickened me. Okay, with that, let me give you guys some updates. It's a tragic story, but unfortunately, it does not look like it is over. Anyway, let's go. Prayers and thoughts and condolences to her mom and her dad.
Like that. We are distraught. The cousin of Hugo Hernandez Mendez agreed to speak only if her face was not shown. We will call her Maria. She says her cousin, an immigrant from Guatemala, lived with her family and other relatives, but recently she rarely saw him and his behavior changed.
Faith said, right, I was a pretty girl with a brick house shape. My grandmother said, oh no, call your daddy. It's time for him to take it from here. You know, I went through that too. My grandparents, they were like, oh no, you filling out too. And we older. Tony, come and get your daughter. Except Tony didn't want to come and get his daughter. All daddies are not the daddies that they profess to be. And I'm going to leave that one alone. Right there. But I know exactly what you're talking about, Faith. Yeah, honey. Had it going on.
Now, the cousin of Hugo Hernandez Mendez tells me that they found blood inside her cousin's bedroom, that blood belonging to Dacara Thompson.
For me to come out and extend my condolences to the family.
Coverage is happening and awareness of a young African-American woman missing, because a lot of times that doesn't happen.
Maria says her husband was also taken by investigators for questioning yesterday, but was released. This morning, she says federal immigration agents were back at their home. this time for her husband, who is an undocumented immigrant from Mexico.
Porque no traían una orden para mi esposo.
They did not have an order for my husband or a warrant for me. They simply handcuffed him and took him. Maria insists her husband has nothing to do with the alleged crime. Her young children standing right next to her. She says her husband was taken despite his full cooperation in the criminal investigation. She has this message for Dacara's parents.
Yo soy madre, entiendo a la madre, entiendo al padre. Yo soy
I am a mother. I understand her mother and father. I have children. I hope God gives them strength through this difficult situation. I really lament that it was a family member of mine, my cousin. I am really sorry.
In the springtime, we have very active frogs, and we could hear them. We can't hear them anymore.
I never thought a family member would do something like that.
Faith says my daddy had no choice. He was scared of my grandma. My daddy was, I guess he was scared of his wife because she didn't want no parts of me living with them. So he picked her over me. So I thank God for my grandparents because they protected me. As big-headed as I was, as mean as I thought they were, they had my best interest at heart. So, you know, we as young women, we get into little predicaments, and God has really blessed us to live through them to tell it. This is one of the unfortunate ones that didn't live to tell the story. And it doesn't mean that she did anything looking for trouble. Trouble found her.
All right, what's your hometown? Where you from? Maryland. All right, where's your birthday? August 8th.
Charging documents lay out more disturbing details in the disappearance and murder of 19-year-old Dacara Thompson. They say the victim was found nude on a riverbank off Route 50 last Sunday, and that suspect, Hugo Hernandez Mendez, allegedly threw her body off a bridge. The documents go on to say that surveillance video shows Dacara had walked up to the SUV Hernandez Mendez was driving, spoke for a minute, then got inside. Police were able to track her movements through her cell phone, which showed her on Cambridge Drive in the early morning hours of August 23rd.
Now ask yourself this question. They said he took her nude body and drove it somewhere and tossed her over a bridge. And you mean to tell me nobody else in the house saw this happen? Saw him carrying something out of the house? They ain't saying that part of the story, are they? Nobody's talking about that. How does a man have all this activity in one room, loud enough for everybody to hear? Now, what, did they all leave before he left? We don't know any of those details. But we do know that he removed her from the site that it took place and transported her, 20 miles away? How did he get her out of the house unseen? Bingo. Now, I'm not saying that's the case, and I'm not saying it's not the case, but it sure is conceivable that he had help. It's very conceivable that he had help. We know he did it to her. She didn't do that to herself. Exactly, Namaste. Is there any camera footage available to even say that she was at a bar? Or is that hearsay? They've got camera footage of her walking away from her vehicle. Absolutely, Faith. If he's illegal, chances are, I'm not saying it's the case, but chances are that the rest of them, or at least one or two of them, was. This man couldn't pull this off alone. He may have done the deed, that took her life, but the disposal of her remains, he didn't pack her up like he was going out of town. It's a 19-year-old girl. Nude at that. You want me to believe that he did this? Nobody else saw anything. They sure enough heard enough. And you know people are nosy. Absolutely, namaste. I believe he had help. Because listen, they were nosy enough to be listening to what was going on in that room. Now your typical man, once all the noise is through, this is just my own opinion. Nobody else's. I'm not stating this is fact or anything, but let's be real about it. If they knew somebody was doing the do in the other room and nobody busted a move to see what was going on, they knew what was going on, they could tell that one of the people was not enjoying themselves. Is that not what they said? So what would you think the dudes in the other room would do at that point once they, oh man, she tearing it up, ha ha ha, he tearing it up, let's see what she look like. They gonna be nosy and want to see who he had in there. Common curiosity. You sat there and listened to this man do what he did with that girl. You never checked on her. You never checked on him. You just knew they was doing something in there, and you knew what was going down in there wasn't reciprocated. No intervention, Millionaires Cove, none. But when the noise died down, do you think they got up and left the house? No. Them freaky dickies wanted to see who was making all that noise with their cousin. That's what they wanted. Maybe I'm wrong. But he had help. I don't care what nobody says. That dirty mofo had help. They didn't care nothing about that girl. They knew that girl was in that room with that man and knew she didn't want to do what he was doing to her. And when the noise died down, you know their nosy behinds sat right there in that room waiting for them both to come out of that room together so they can nudge each other and say, yeah, look at her. Hi, Crystal. And just like Fonda said, he do this all the time. I won't be surprised if he unalives cereal. He had multiple pairs of drawers in his room. Ladies' drawers. Panties. They wasn't hers. So chances are, can't say for sure, but common sense tells you if this is what they found, that I hope they run DNA on those panties and find out that there's other women's DNAs on those underwear. Because grapists, they like to keep trophies. Something they can hang on to so they can relive it in their mind. Sick.
Police say that's where Hernandez Mendez lived and where he allegedly killed her in the bedroom before dumping her body. According to charging documents, the suspect in the case told detectives he had been at the Galaxy nightclub that morning, and that's a very popular club over in the Langley Park area. He denied any involvement in the killing and asked for an attorney. He's set to appear in court Monday afternoon.
She was selling, is what you're saying. So she was a worker, is what you're saying. Y'all don't care about this Dacara Thompson girl. Y'all don't care about her not one bit. Y'all don't have any respect for the family, for the victim. What you care about is getting your views up for a trending topic right now. Because if you all really cared, y'all would not be making videos like that at all. The police are still asking, investigators, detectives are still asking for help with this case because it does not make any sense. But you all have, she walked out of the car. It appears that she got in the car without being forced, and she was found in his bedroom. Okay. That doesn't mean that she was selling.
Thank you.
It doesn't. Y'all don't care because in a week or so, this story is going to be over. And the next actual victim, you're going to make your victim with your lackluster of journalism. Seriously, they're asking for help because the case doesn't make sense. She parked in the wrong direction and left her purse. She planned on getting right back in her car.
Yep.
Y'all were not there. We do not know what happened in between her getting into his car and them finding her body, unfortunately, in a ditch.
Wow.
But y'all, she was tricking.
Yeah.
She was getting tricked on, her sugar baby, her this, her that. Very well. It all could be true. But wait for the facts to come out. And isn't he like not even a citizen? A citizen? So what is he doing here?
If you need to record anything over the internet, I cannot
sorry
think
about these
of a more
ads.
seamless way than.
And he was pulled over for DUI at that. Like, the case does not make sense. And it could be more than one person involved. Give them time to figure it out. Do you know how big trafficking is in the DMV area? Come on, y'all. Y'all just sitting here saying all of this. I know what it appears to be, but if it was that easy, the police, the detectives would not be asking for the public's help with more information because it doesn't make sense. And even they can't come out and say, this is what it is. This is what it is. Because there's still information that they are not releasing to us.
That's right.
And for good damn reason. Because look at how y'all are. Oh, this is what was happening. Shut up.
Hello.
Guy Hugo Hernandez, I think they really need to do more investigating with him because it's kind of crazy for him to do what he did to Dacara and for the people to find multiple women underwears in the house. That man looks like he was crazy.
What I say? I haven't even seen this part. I ain't gonna lie. I haven't even seen this part. They found multiple pairs of underwear in this room. What does that look like? Does he have a wife? Here's questions that the police are probably saying. Does he have a wife? He has trophies, Fonda. Trophies. What's he gonna do? He gonna come home and that's what they hold on to stuff like that for. Probably taking him to bed at night, just snipping on him. Nasty bastard. But like she said, the public is so quick to jump on something. Hi, Catherine. How are you, love? The public is so quick to jump on a story and fault the victim. Absolutely, Millionaire's Cove. And I want to see the rest of the people. That's right, Faith. That's absolutely right, Auntie. This is what I was talking about the other day. A lot of these young girls don't understand what they're getting into until it's too late. Hi, Diane La Rosa. How are you, love? Hi, Lily. But it's sad because it's so early in this case for the parents to have to, first of all, they've been going through hell before they even found out where she was. Imagine your daughter is missing, nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. That's one thing. But then a body is discovered. And the police take, how many days did it take for them to even decide that this was her? Now, as far as I'm concerned, maybe I'm wrong. But why didn't they go to those parents and say, this is going to be an uncomfortable request, but we've located a body. It's similar to hers. We don't know for sure that it's her. Can we get you to come and possibly identify her if this is in fact your daughter? Why did it take so long once they found a body? They had to do an autopsy and all this. Why didn't you just take those parents? It's already heart-wrenching that she's missing. Why didn't you take them to really get this thing resolved as quickly as possible? If it was just 2 days earlier than when it was finally discovered it was in fact her, that's 2 days. But imagine all of this pain that this mother and father and family are going through, and it's finally discovered that this is in fact their baby girl. Only to hear people in the shadows, yeah, she was turning tricks. Yeah, she was probably doing this. Yeah, she knew him. You don't even know. But to make her seem as though she was asking for it. No regard for her family. No regard whatsoever for that mother, that father. It just, I can't.
From the scar on his face, that man looks like he come from some type of gang or something overseas, across the country. You can't tell me that man was in like a hard life. He had a hard life from even just looking at him. The crazy part about it, I think they say he was like 35 or something like that. 35, looking like that.
For real.
That man looked like he in his late 50s. That man looks like he was in his late 50s. And my thing is, I think the roommates didn't want to report him because they knew he would have went to jail. And from what was told in the comments, I seen somebody saying that the lady husband had been deported back because the police went there to investigate, but they must be still questioning her. I don't know how true that is, but I know for a fact he was not a U.S. citizen.
Right.
And if they probably would have did something or called the police, they probably was scared of the husband being turned in to be shipped back out the country and the guy Hugo. Y'all let me know in the comments. Them
That's
people,
the
they need to
truth.
check them roommates. Whoever they was, they need to be investigated. Cause there's no way you gonna sit up here and tell me that y'all hearing what's going on, and it sound like she wasn't into what was going on. Like, in other words, y'all meant to say it sound like she was fighting for her life.
Yep.
With a broke nail, hair and blood in the room. That girl was fighting for her life.
Absolutely.
So you mean to tell me y'all just set up there and just let that went on? Ain't no way in the world. lock everybody up. Lock them all
Holla.
up. And this is allegedly. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comments.
Holla.
I'm mad. I'm aggravated about that shit. For real.
I'm telling you the
How do I
truth.
manage?
Oh, Lord, have mercy. But she pretty much summed it up, just what I was thinking. And I haven't even seen that video. But it's like, there's other people in the other room. Now, he's an illegal. And apparently somebody else has already been arrested because they were illegal. Chances are there might have been more. But the fact that they sat there in that room, in the other room, and listened to what went down and did nothing. Nothing. That's foul. And she had skull and facial fractures. So you know there was all kind of bang, boom, bams going on in that room. It was more than just a bed rocking. He tore her up. Color played a part as well, believing that's why they took so long. Amen. Hi, Miss Purple. Years ago, people said 1 foot in the grave. But see, that's, once again, it proves my point. It never fails. It never fails. When it comes to us, it's not as investigated as vigilantly as it would for Karen or Sissy or, Yeah, Fonda. They similar. Sick. Okay, let me get this next one up. This is from Shanitra Speaks. Shout out to Shanitra Speaks. I got a shout out to Tisa Tales as well. Unfortunately, I didn't hear anything in that video, though, that said that there was a second person arrested. So that thumbnail was rather misleading, and I apologize. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play this. If you just hold tight just a second. This is Shanitra Speaks on YouTube.
"23rd, her father reported her missing. Now I want you to look at this video."
I'm going to start it from the beginning. I apologize.
60 seconds with the arm.
All right, what's your hometown? Where you from? Maryland. All right, where's your birthday? August 8th. All right, what's your favorite color? Pink. Okay, what's your dream occupation?
But I really do not enjoy that a lot of these people that don't know Dacara, never heard of Dacara until what happened, are...
This is her best friend, you guys. This is her best friend.
Really trying to play with her image.
This question further, the defendant denied any involvement. Prince George's officials say Hernandez Mendez was in the United States illegally.
She says her cousin, an immigrant from Guatemala, lived with her family and other relatives, but recently she rarely saw him and his behavior changed.
Justice will be served for Dacara. Best believe that. Justice will be served for her. Right now, I'm just lost for words. I normally don't get on here doing all this.
Her name is Dacara Thompson. She's loved. She's a human. She's not an object.
Just 14 days after turning 19, Dacara Thompson's life would tragically be cut short. Now, new details shed light on what happened the night she disappeared. While many believe she was only out to get gas, documents show she told her father she was going to get gas and that she was going out. So it wasn't just about Dacara leaving the house for gas. She also had plans to be out that night. Now I'm going to walk you through this timeline. And we will also get into some of Dakara's family and friends' reaction to what social media and the news outlets have been reporting. But before we get into those reactions and walk through this timeline so we can understand what happened, if you haven't already done so, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to my channel if you appreciate the content, and drop a comment and let me know what are your thoughts about the fact that Dacara Thompson was 19 years old, 10 o'clock at night. She planned to go out to get gas. And she also told her father that she would be out. Now, many are saying that with her being 19 years old and with it being 10 o'clock at night, that was too late for her to be going out to get gas. But she was 19 and her family have said that they trusted her. She was in an internship program, which you would learn. And many have said that she was a good person.
Fonda, you're right. Fonda says, I think that she was sheltered to the point that she didn't know what a monster looked like. And you know what? He looked like a monster, but there's some monsters out there that's worse than him, if you can imagine. And they look very, very normal. So that's something that we need to really instill in our kids. It don't matter what they look like. If you don't know them, keep it pushing. Isn't that how Satan comes after us? He looks all pretty, handsome, whatever. Auntie, I don't know, because that young lady that went out with her boyfriend and came up missing, hers went about the same way, and she was a white girl. What did they say about her? What did they say about her? I bet they didn't say she was a streetwalker. I bet they didn't say that about her. This is where I have a problem. And this is just the public. I'm not talking about the people that are conducting the investigation. I'm talking about the average person watching this video. Minds need to change in this society. Just because she wore a lace front, or just because she wore a certain type of clothing, she's a young lady. Why is she stigmatized into being a streetwalker? It's an automatic go-to, it seems. It never fails. Something's got to give in society.
And she was very responsible. So the fact that she was going out to get gas and going out, many are saying that her father should not have allowed that. But considering that she was 19, what are your thoughts about this? Now let's go ahead and get into this timeline.
Whenever you need to go somewhere, call a friend, call an Uber, or call somebody. Don't do it on your own. This is our milk carton. This is close to home for us. We cannot continue to lose our babies. We need you all. You all are our future.
That's right.
We need you all to pay attention to your surroundings. When you go in a building, look and see where the first exit is. Know where you're going. Know who you're meeting. Tell somebody where you're going. We're not in your business. I don't care if you go to the party, but tell me where the party is.
Thank you.
Let me know where to tell my people to look for you. You know, it's funny because everybody say, "Oh, Ma, you all in my business." Well, yeah, I am. But I need you to know I'm in your business because I love you.
Okay, pay attention to this press conference. It was released right after news broke that the suspect had been arrested. It's just a short clip, but it lays the foundation for the timeline we're about to reconstruct using newly released court documents. Listen to this.
19-year-old Dacara Thompson was last seen on August the 22nd. She was reported missing the very next day. On August the 21st, her family located the vehicle in the area of Jasmine Terrace in Hyattsville, Maryland.
He was fired just 3 weeks before he was set to retire.
And now he's becoming an industry whistleblower.
On August 31st, what we believe to have been Dakara's body was located by the Maryland State Police Department
31st
in the area of eastbound Route 50 at Route 97. On August 23rd, in the area of University Boulevard in Hyattsville, Maryland, a short distance from her vehicle, at approximately 3 a.m., for reasons still under investigation, it appears that Dacara willfully entered a vehicle being driven by Hugo Rene Hernandez Mendez, 35-year-old male out of Bowie, Maryland.
Okay, so you just heard from the press conference, and stay with me because this is important because we're reconstructing this timeline. Now, after Dacara, she leaves her father's house, and remember, the father texts her. He said, "I love you. I'm about to go to bed. I was just checking on you." Now, Dacara does text him back immediately, and she says, "I got gas and I'm out." That's letting him know that she was out like she planned to do, as the court documents revealed. She said, "I should be back soon. I love you too. Good night." Now, when she did not come home, her father reported her missing. So the next day, this will be August the 22nd, when she said that she was going to go get gas and she was going out. When she didn't come home, the next day, just before 9 p.m. on August the 23rd, her father reported her missing. Now I want you to look at this video clip here, because this video clip that has been circulating, many believe that this was the clip that showed when Dacara got out of her vehicle that she willingly walked to the suspect's car. But this clip is not that. This clip is her getting out of her vehicle when she parked it around 1 a.m. So she parks her vehicle around 1 a.m. Now, from 1 a.m. to about 3 a.m. in the morning,
Hi, Jess. How you doing, love?
she's not with the suspect that we know about at this time, but detectives are still working to determine between that time frame, where was Dacara and if she knew the suspect prior to this happening. So listen to this clip because it's going to outline where this video surveillance came from, the timing of this. So listen to this.
Her credit card, her debit cards, and she even had $60 cash.
Dakara's father gave News 4 this surveillance video allegedly taken from a home near where Dakara's SUV was found. He says it appears to show her walking away from the car around 1:30 a.m. Saturday morning, about 3 hours after she left her father's home in Lanham.
Okay, so you just heard the news clip. Now, her father was able to obtain that footage from someone in the area that lives there. Based on him obtaining it, then it placed Dacara getting out her car around 1:30 a.m., which was approximately 3 hours from the time that she left her father's house. Now, we do know that Dacara did not meet up with the suspect until about 3 a.m. when she's seen on another surveillance footage that the police have not released at this point. So if authorities, they've said that they have that footage, but they have not released it. So the footage that you saw was the footage when she got out of the vehicle, and that's what her father put out because someone gave it to him. Now I'm going to play this clip because authorities questioned the suspect in this matter about where he was at. So listen to this.
So this is hours after that video, the timing of that video where she was seen walking away from her vehicle. Okay.
Interview, telling detectives he went to a nightclub to meet his ex-girlfriend, but never did. When detectives questioned further, the defendant denied any involvement. Prince George's.
Okay, so as you heard, the suspect, he said that he went to a nightclub to meet his ex-girlfriend, but they were not able to meet up. Now, many are speculating because what we do not know at this point is Dacara Thompson, when she parked her vehicle at 1:35 a.m., and between the time that she got into the suspect's truck at 3 a.m. in the morning, we don't know what she was doing. Now, many are speculating because authorities have not yet told us that. Now, many are speculating. Here's a comment that someone left, didn't he say he was at a club on the next street from where she parked? My theory is she parked by the apartments at 1:30 because it was free parking. She went into the club and that's where she met him. Probably had some drinks and went home with him. That's why you don't see her getting in his car until 3. That's usually when the club closes. Now, keep in mind, authorities have not confirmed if she did go to the club, where she was at. So this is online speculating that is where she was at the club, and maybe that's where her and the suspect ended up meeting one another at the club. But authorities said they're still working to confirm where Dacara and the suspect met, and hopefully that information is revealed. Now, what you have in front of you, this is the statement of probable cause, and it states here, and this is publicly available information, so I'm not showing anything that shouldn't be shown. It states here that, the suspect, he is responsible for what occurred to the victim, Dacara Thompson. Now, on this sheet here, it states that he is a landscaper. His income is approximately $2,400, and he pays $700 in rent. Now, what I want you to pay attention to is down here on this form that is the official court document. It states that they did a record check, and you see that the date of this at the bottom left is September the 5th, 2025, and it says record check, driver record search, yes, DV office, DVPO, yes. But then here, if you look, it says MOSOR, registered lifetime SA offender, yes, which is interesting.
Court documents in the murder and disappearance of 19-year-old Dacara. Investigators say that video shows her walking into a parking lot at the Family Dollar located at 2020 University Boulevard in Hyattsville, Maryland on August 23rd around 3 o'clock in the morning. Now, Dacara is seen walking to the driver's side of a black GMC Yukon Denali. She talks to the person inside of that SUV. After around a minute or so, according to these court documents, she walks over to the passenger side, sits in the front seat, and then that GMC drives off. Now,
police say they drove to his house in Bowie and believe he killed her in his bedroom. A roommate reports hearing the defendant having sex and then a grunting noise, which made it believe that someone wasn't enjoying the sex.
That part right there. Now, when they discovered this, when they talked to these people, did they not take them in as well? I'm just wondering. If someone is a potential witness to something that took place in that house, why did they not take them as well? That early in the game, how do we know that they didn't help? That's just a thought.
After executing a search warrant, police found what they believed to be the victim's blood and missing fingernail, along with hair and other evidence in the bedroom and in the trash, along with multiple pairs of women's underwear and lingerie.
Every senior women should have these in
That's
their wardrobe.
sick right there.
The most flattering, cool stretch pants for women over 50.
So you just heard the news report. And up to this point, we know that the authorities have surveillance footage that shows Dacara walking over to his vehicle, talking to him, conversing for about a minute or so, and then she gets into the passenger side. From there, authorities were able to track Dakara's movement with her phone. Her phone showed that she was in the car the entire time. Now, her phone was deactivated at 5:03 a.m. So Dacara arrived at his residence at 3:47 a.m. She was there up until the time, unfortunately, that the authorities say that he removed her body from the home, and they believe that this occurred in his bedroom. Now, many are saying, well, what about the roommates that were there? And I have a news clip that I'm going to play. But stay with me on this timeline. So once she gets into the car about 3 a.m., they arrived at his home 3:47 a.m. So from 3:47 to 5:03, like I said, her cell phone was on the entire time. Her phone was deactivated 5:03 a.m. The roommates say that they heard noises coming from the room.
Hood news. I asked that very question earlier before you arrived. How did he move that body with a house full of people and no one saw it? Somebody saw it. Chances are somebody even helped him. Because ain't nobody just going to sit there. Listen to what was going on in the other room. They knew what was going on. They said it to the popo. They said we could tell somebody was having sex in there and someone was not enjoying it. That's exactly what they said. That's all they should. You know what? At that point, everybody should have been a suspect. Everybody. Everybody should have been suspect. You got a house full of people. And hear all this noise going on in the next room. Unfortunately, he was too busy to turn her phone off before he did what he did. It was turned off at 5-something in the morning. We don't know if one of them turned it off. But the bottom line is this. He carried that child out of that room. Or somebody went in after the fact and helped him. But ain't nobody immune in this case. Everybody in that house should have been taken downtown with him and questioned. Forget question them in the living room. No, take all they behinds downtown. And if they're illegal, send their behinds off. This pisses me off to no end. I'm
that
sorry.
may not have sounded like, someone else was enjoying it around 5 a.m. Shortly after that, Dacara's phone is deactivated. Now, here's what the documents say. Detectives had the opportunity to interview the defendant. And I'm reading in part because this was covered, some of this in the news. Detectives advised the defendant of his Miranda rights, at which he freely and voluntarily waived his rights and elected to speak with detectives. The defendant advised detectives that on August the 23rd, 2025, he was at the Galaxy nightclub. Now, pay attention to this. Let it be noted that detectives know that the Galaxy nightclub is located at 2301 University Boulevard. This location is directly across from where Dacara was observed entering into the black 2007 GMC Yukon. So this was his vehicle. And then it says, furthermore, the defendant advised detectives that he was in possession of the black 2007 GMC Yukon with that license plate on August the 23rd of 2025. The defendant advised that he was supposed to meet his ex-girlfriend, but he never did. When detectives questioned farther into the investigation, the defendant denied any involvement. And at that point, he wanted to have an attorney, so the interview ended. Now, on September the 4th, 2025, at approximately...
You can't grow your podcast if you spend all your time editing. So let's edit faster with Riverside.
9:05 hours, a residential search warrant was conducted at that residence that he was staying at. And you're going to hear from his cousins that were staying in that home.
Okay, stop right there. That's when they decided to search? Did they say, wait, let me back this up a little bit. Did I hear what I thought I heard? Did I hear what I thought I heard? Pardon me, I don't mean to keep rehashing
So the interview ended. Now, on September the 4th, 2025, at approximately 9:05 hours, a residential search warrant was conducted at that residence that he was staying at. And you're going to hear from his cousins.
How long did it take for them to get the warrant to search that? I mean, shouldn't they have been searching at that point? Why did they have to wait for a warrant? Whatever happened to probable cause? If it was stated by one person in there that they heard activity going on, that's probable cause right there. How many hours passed before they got that search, that warrant to search? Okay,
that were staying in that home.
That's just something I wanted to point out.
Detectives made contacts with multiple other occupants of the residence whose names are known to the police. all occupants of the residence were detained and transported to the Criminal Investigation Division homicide for further investigation.
Good.
Now, keep in mind, I played that small clip in the beginning where the detective said that he's the only suspect at this time, but the investigation is still ongoing. Detectives had the opportunity to interview the occupants of the residence. They spoke with witness one, whose identity is known to the police, who advised that he lives at the residence with his family, its cousin, who is the defendant. So this is the cousin and two other roommates. Witness one advised that the black GMC Yukon with that license plate is registered to the cousin, but the defendant is the only one who operated. So they're saying that's his vehicle. He's the only one that drives it. So, and they did state that he has a drinking problem and another problem. So the detective spoke with the witness when advised that its room is right next to defendant's room. Witness advised, so pay attention to this, on August the 23rd, 2025, it recalled hearing the defendant having in exchange around 500 hours. And keep in mind that I have to be respectful to YouTube, their term. So if you hear me substituting words, it's for that reason. Witness to advise that it could hear a grunting noise, which made it believe that someone wasn't enjoying it. This was around 5 o'clock.
Wow.
Dacara Thompson's cell phone was deactivated at 5:03 a.m. That's what the police documents show. Okay, now I'm going to play this clip from the press conference related to how Dacara's body was discovered, because many have said if it wasn't for a call, her body, it's a possibility it may not have been found, but we don't.
Disabled vehicle. Upon arrival, troopers observed a female lying unresponsive in a grassy area off the highway.
Jesus.
Executed a search warrant at this home right behind me. But today, there were federal agents back here to arrest a different man. Now, the cousin of Hugo Hernandez Mendez tells me that they found blood inside her cousin's bedroom, that blood belonging to Dacara Thompson. It's in the side bedroom of this Bowie home where investigators say Dacara Thompson was killed. I never thought a family member would do something like that. We are distraught. The cousin of Hugo Hernandez Mendez agreed to speak only if her face was not shown. We will call her Maria. She says her cousin, an immigrant from Guatemala, lived with her family and other relatives, but recently she rarely saw him and his behavior changed.
So as you heard from the cousin in the news clip, she states that he lived there in the home and that she said that he had started acting strange. But some have pointed out that she didn't defend him. She didn't say that, I can't believe he's charged with this. This is not in his character. She said the opposite of, he has started acting strange. Now, she is going to give a message to Dacara's parents, but some neighbors reacted to the news as well, so I'm going to play that. But I wanted to point this out, is that there were a witness 3 and 4 that was also in the home. They told police, as you see here, that they live on the opposite side, and they do not recall what happened. Now, some have pointed out that that seems a little strange, that they're saying they live on the opposite side. They didn't hear anything. They don't know what happened. Let me know, what are your thoughts about this? Okay, now listen to this.
Very unfortunate that we have to live in a society where predators are always lurking.
Neighbors are still in shock.
I just felt that there was a need for me to come out and extend my condolences to the family.
Oh my goodness, it's connected.
Tracy Franklin says Maryland State Troopers visited her home as part of the investigation.
I am very glad to see that coverage is happening and awareness of a young African-American woman missing, because a lot of times that doesn't happen.
Maria said,
Diane La Rosa, you said your message got cut, said it was too long. Do you want to type it in real quick? Type it in real quick for me, or at least half of it, and then you can take the other half and type that in a separate post. Could be possible he hitched a ride, she hitched a ride, and things went left. That's a possibility, absolutely. Hey, Auntie Mickey, that story was false to be alert fake news on that church. You talking about the one where the pastor shot up the congregation? Pow pow. I'm sorry, I keep using these words that YouTube don't allow. That was fake news. Oh yeah, Faith, me and Faith is gonna be a year older on Thursday. We 9/11 babies. Oh wow, Mr. Phillips, that's crazy. Well, thank you for letting me know, because I sure was gonna dive into it. Wow. Okay, story. Dang. Well, thank you for letting me know, love. Diane LaRosa, did you wanna input your message again? Okay, Malik. 23rd. All right. Well, let me start playing this video again. If you want to input your message again, Diane, feel free, love.
Her husband was also taken by investigators for questioning yesterday, but was released. This morning, she says federal immigration agents were back at their home, this time for her husband, who is an undocumented immigrant from Mexico. They did not have an order for my husband or a warrant for me. They simply handcuffed him and took him. Maria insists her husband has nothing to do with the alleged crime. Her young children standing right next to her. She says her husband was taken despite his full cooperation in the criminal investigation. She has this message for Dacara's parents.
That's possible, Faith.
I am a mother. I understand her mother and father. I have children. I hope God gives them strength through this difficult situation. I really lament that it was a family member of mine, my cousin. I am really sorry.
I'm a founder. Love our.
You know what, Faith? That's a possibility. I don't know what the laws are in that area. Some states are, the herb is legal, and in some states it's not, and it's possible. Diane says, unfortunately, there's been a lot of illegals committing grapes and deletions. Some states and cities protect the illegals. That's why we're supposed to blank in unvetted people. We don't know backgrounds. Well, that's for sure. Some states do protect these illegals. And that's the unfortunate thing. Oh, okay, Faith. I misread. ICE don't care if you cooperate. If you're illegal, they gonna come for you. Amen to that. Sometimes they come for you if you ain't illegal. That's okay, Diane. I tried to read it as best I could. I understand about the typos because my fingers be acting weird too. Okay,
Lets me design my brand
Sorry
faster,
about this
launch my
ad.
business sooner, and start making money early.
Okay, so you just heard that news clip and you heard from the neighbors. Now I'm going to play the short news clip that provides more details.
Thompson was murdered. It's on Cambridge Drive here in Bowie. The suspect living with other relatives who say he has a drinking problem, a drug problem, and they say they told police they heard a woman's voice in his bedroom that night.
From the time of her disappearance, showing Dacara willingly getting into a dark SUV. Police say they were able to trace that vehicle to the suspect. Investigators not sure what that was all about, what the relationship between the two may have been.
It's shaken the neighbors up. The few of us that are finding out.
They say a family lives in the home and they're quiet.
It's very troubling because, I mean, they've been over there for a couple of years, but just knowing that we have this magnitude, just hearing this is a nice family community.
Several
You know, we don't have to hear about stuff like this. It is very distressing, and I'm just so sorry for the family.
House. Investigators not saying how she was killed or what happened inside the home leading up to her murder.
So this is a young woman who dedicated part of her young life to serving others, And I want that to ring home to all of you.
So you just heard the various news clips. Now, the significance there is that he's been living in that home with some family members. He was renting a room. There were others in the house when this happened. Now, two, as you previously heard me read from that police affidavit, said that they don't recall what happened, that they were in the home, but they stay on the opposite end, so they don't recall what happened. That's interesting. Drop your thoughts and let me know in the comments. What do you think of that? Now, you also heard from the neighbors that said that this family home, this particular family, whoever lives in the house, they've been living there for a couple of years now. They haven't had any problems. In fact, problems like this is out of the ordinary. You also heard that the police right now do not want to say, the cause of death, what took place in the home, because it is an ongoing investigation. Now, one of the family members that was in the home, which you heard the cousin say, her husband, well, she didn't want to be on camera, her husband was arrested, but she said that that's related to his status. And it has nothing to do with Dacara Thompson's, unfortunately, with the events that occurred on the night when her life was ended. Now, I do want to play this very short news clip before we get into some additional family reactions, because they reached out to Dakara's family and listened to what they said.
What that is all about, still waiting to hear back from them. And Dakara's family told us today that they just don't want to speak publicly about the developments in this case.
For fuck's sake. If I see one more TikTok creator say, "Oh, this is only $6," and then the goddamn shipping is.
Guys.
Okay, so as you heard from the news report, Dacara Thompson's family do not want to publicly comment on the latest developments in this case and have requested privacy at this time. So she does have some siblings that have taken to social media and have posted. This is a photo of one of her siblings and he shared it. It was a friend that said to keep him in the family in the prayers. And he shared a photo of him and his sister together, of course, is Dacara. Now, her brother took to social media, and this was prior to her going missing. Well, her body being discovered, excuse me. He said, if anybody has seen my little sister, please let me know. DM me, please. Then he made a subsequent post and he said, I dare somebody disrespect me. Don't before the end of this. Then he made a post, of course, after the news had broke that Dakara's body had been found, and he just said, man, and the heartbroken emojis. Now, someone did reply to the post that he made about don't disrespect him. And what they said was, calm down. Please don't feed into any negativity. I know you are heartbroken right now and definitely going through one of the hardest times in your life you will ever go through. I have never experienced losing my siblings, so I can't say I feel what you feel right now, but I do understand. If you don't listen to no one or nothing else that I have will be told to you. I want you to remember and try to process. Your beautiful dear sister went home to the Lord earlier than you planned, and you have to and will go through your grieving time. But remember, your baby sis wants to rest in peace, and she knows and can sense her close loved ones are at peace. Continue to pray to God, please. Only God can get you through this nightmare. I'm going to continue to pray for you. So then Dakara's best friend, she took to social media and she also made a post, and she said, never did I think that I'll ever be posting about you being gone. It doesn't even seem real. You deserve so much better than what happened to you. Thank you for every moment we had, every conversation that we had, every laugh we shared together, every birthday we celebrated together. Thank you for being my best friend through the years we shared together. I love you forever and always. Gone but never forgotten, Dacara Thompson. And Dacara did have her on one of her social media profiles. It said bestie, and then it linked back to their page. And I'll play a video from her.
Now, but I really do not enjoy that a lot of these people that don't know Dacara, never heard of Dacara until what happened, are really trying to play with her image. Like, What do you mean? Oh, she must have been selling that box. She was hot. Like, y'all are really weird as fuck. Leave your condolences or get the fuck. Like,
Yeah.
Mm, mm, mm.
I don't feel nothing but anger, rage, revenge, emptiness. I don't wish this on my worst enemy. I don't. I thank each and every person. I wanted to get on here. There was so many calls, texts, emails, DMs, comments on my posts. Like, thank y'all. For the bottom of my heart, I seen every last one of them. I can't even answer to them right now, but I seen them and I receive it. Now it's just time to heal. I don't wish this on my worst enemy. I don't. This is devastating. This is very devastating, but from the bottom of my heart, I thank every last one of y'all that sent a prayer, that sent a call, that sent a text. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Justice will be served for Dacara. Best believe that. Justice will be served for her. Right now I'm just lost for words. I normally don't get on here doing all this crying shit, but this shit hurt. I just thank y'all from the bottom of my heart. I thank you all for your love and your prayers. And just keep me and my family in your prayers and keep sending those comforting words.
Okay, and that was the full clip that was posted by her best friend. It was really short. It was just posted on her story. Now, another friend said, I love you so much, heart. I'll miss you forever, and I'll never let your name die. She posted this, and she also shared this video of them. And then there was also another friend who, and the significance of me playing this is because there's been people that said, did she have any friends? Did she have a boyfriend? So I want to make sure that I share these videos that have been posted by her friends. And someone said, I do not know her, but I am so hurt for her and her family. And then she replied and she said, I am also hurt by the news, but at least we have the closure of knowing the man who did this is locked away and she is at peace now. So that is what one of her friends commented, and they shared this short video of them together. Now, I do want to play this clip here because it goes back to Dakara's car. Remember when it was located, her family was able to track it, but the police did not impound the car. They told the family to take the car because they didn't want to risk it being towed, and they have received some backlash from that. So I'm going to play that short clip, and then I'm going to...
Wait a minute. They allowed the family to take his car? Is that what they're saying? Put a 1 in the chat if I got that right. They allowed the family to take the suspect's car? Did I hear that right? Diane said, this is horrible and painful, hurtful. She was so young, her whole life taken. Prayers for her loved ones. God would keep them in his loving care. In Jesus' name, amen. Her car. Okay. I thought they meant his car. Lord Jesus. I wonder if they checked her car, though. Other than to check and see her own personal belongings. Is there anything in her car that might give some kind of indication as to what was going on? Was he ever in her car for anything? I mean, these are questions. Unfortunately, these type of stories are occurring on a regular basis. Absolutely. Faith says, no, they told the daddy to take the daughter's car so it wouldn't be impounded and he have to pay a fee. I'm wondering if they checked out the interior of her car. Just to be on the safe side. Just to see if there was anybody else in that vehicle. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the culprit. Was there a friend in there at any point in time that we don't know about? They could shed some light on what her intentions might have been or what they may have planned earlier. Wow. No, they didn't. And that's what they're saying. They should have taken that car to check it anyway. I'm so through with police.
Immediately play a clip related to Dacara because she wasn't reported as a critical person. They said that flyers and awareness from the police, well, not flyers, excuse me, but pictures from the police was not initially put out, a photo on their social media account. So listen to that.
They called police, who they say never searched the car, but instead told them to take it home.
Because they said there's a chance it would be towed if it stayed there.
So they did and kept searching on their own.
I sat there for 2 days, for 48 hours, just to see if she or someone else would come back to look for the car.
Right.
And nobody ever came back.
Since then, they've
taken a devastating turn. There are also questions about how it all started. Prince George's County Police have said that once they were notified about the case, they began investigating areas where Thompson was last seen. They produced a flyer that was distributed. But initially, the department did not reach out to news outlets or publish Thompson's picture on their blog or their X account. I've spoken with Prince George's County Police about why, and it was explained to me that because Thompson was a healthy adult, her case was not considered critical. When we asked the chief about that today, here's what's his.
See, once again, Auntie, it was said he drove the car. Auntie, it was said he drove the car that belonged to the cousin. They found the car's blood in that dude bed. See, you see how they handle this case or how they handle cases like this? There's always something that they just say, oh, well, just, it is what it is, take it. Once again, when it comes to you know what I mean.
Response.
The facts as we have it is she was in that vehicle before she was ever reported missing. So we did canvass the area. We searched, we questioned people in the area. We looked for video. We did all of these things. As a practice, critical missings get distributed. But the family did a lot of hard work, and they
so important. Soon as that missing persons case is filed, it gets a flyer and it becomes disseminated all over the media, social media platforms, sharing it with the general public. And that right there is the first step, because the community can't help you in finding someone if the community is not aware that someone is missing. And so just those first 24 to 48 hours, those are the most critical moments.
Again, Prince George's County Police say they did distribute flyers and investigate, although in terms of social media and media outreach, this was initially more of a grassroots effort, large part because of her age. But this gives everyone an opportunity to learn a little bit more about how these decisions are made. You heard what Black and Missing had to say about it. They want every case to be treated like it's critical because of those initial hours. But, as you heard from the chief there are a lot of questions in terms of timing on whether that would have made a difference with when she was reported missing.
Okay, so you did hear the authorities say that when the missing persons report was filed, Dacara Thompson had already gotten in that car and her life was ended. The missing person report was filed on August the 23rd around 9 p.m. as we discussed earlier. So at this point, the roommates, they said August the 23rd around 3 o'clock in the morning, they heard some noises in the room. At 3:05 a.m., Dakara's cell phone was disabled. So the significance of that is the authority has been getting the police have been receiving backlash because of not posting Dakara's photo on social media. And from the missing children, the representative there said, no matter the circumstances, that's the bare minimum. That should have been done. But the police is saying that in this case, it would not have made a difference What are your thoughts about that? Now, there have been questions such as if Dacara had a boyfriend. That is not publicly confirmed by her family or her friends. Now, on the day, August the 22nd, that she left her father's house and she said she was going to go get gas, she was active on social media making reposts. So, one of the reposts that she reposted was related to ex boyfriends. And I'm going to play that. Now, keep in mind that this video, I'm not implying that this has anything to do with the case at all. I also want to highlight a comment because her mom on social media, her mom had hearted this comment. And what this comment said is, I don't think drugs was involved. I do believe with her being young, her parents maybe didn't know much about her dating life. Possibly a guy is involved and maybe they were having a briefing and gone wrong. I'm not sure. I hope she comes up alive. Now, keep in mind, this was prior to her body being discovered when her mom had hearted this, but her mom didn't heart every comment. And I'm not implying that this means that she agrees with it.
I'm really the ex that nobody got to fucking worry about. I promise you, I'm not a threat. On God, I'm not. Baby, I'm not stalking you. I'm not checking for you. I don't got my friends watching your page. I don't got nothing. I don't even got no fucking fake page to watch your fucking page. That's how real it is. I don't give a fuck about you. So the fact that y'all really get on the internet and brag about bullying bitches over niggas and bitches, brag about being, oh, my ex is still in love with me. If you fucking with my ex, just stop because y'all are fucking weird, bitch. Get back with him. What the fuck? You really couldn't even pay me to make a post about no fucking ex because that's how much I don't give a fuck about them. Like literally, y'all be too stuck in the past for me. I'm not checking for no bitch. I'm not checking for nobody. I'm not the one that's gonna be contacting my ex and making a little post about them to get their attention and to make other bitches mad. What in the entire fuck? Y'all need to seek help, God and Jesus. I don't know. I just can't do it. I'm sorry. Like, not at all.
I know that.
Not even a little bit.
60 seconds with your arm.
All right, what's your hometown? Where you from? Maryland. All right, where's your birthday? August 8th. All right, what's your favorite color? Pink. Okay, what's your dream occupation? Real estate. Ooh, I like that. Okay, what's your biggest pet peeve? Mean people. I don't like mean people either. What's your favorite artist?
60 seconds.
Parent. Good afternoon, everyone. Most of you may know me. I am Dacara mom. Can we get a round of applause for her? Please don't put anything. That you see two exes jumping together and form a team like no other, and that's the result of what we are seeing today. She has run this thing like no other. I don't know if I could have. If I could make it, if I didn't have the support that she has been giving me throughout this entire situation.
Hey, back to school already. I want to talk to you about Angel Sense and back to school safety.
I want to say I'm glad to see that this community did come out and support. There should have been way more people, but again, I'm glad to see the diversity of this neighborhood, of these people that came out to support this family. But this is so sad. Faith says it's too many of our young girls, black and white, are being taken away from us because of these illegals that got here with those dang border open. I'm hot as fish grease. Exactly. E-Natural says, wait, so he told police he was meeting his ex, and then they said he reposted that video about exes. Wow. Now that's something to think about. That is definitely something to think about.
I want to thank each and every one of you that has reached out to me. I may not have been able to respond to every text message, every call, people wanting to bring by food. I appreciate, everybody knows I'm self-employed. I still act like I still send me their money. And I appreciated that so much. And just the outpour of everybody wanting to jump in just to see what they can do. It just spoke volumes to me. And my heart is so full because it just showed me how much that we, that we can come together as a community, but how people still do care. And I just wanted to let everybody know individually that I really, 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 really appreciate everything. So if I don't answer every text or call, it gets overwhelming. It has been so overwhelming. At the same time, as the young lady spoke, and she said sleeping out here for 2 days around the clock. I was out here. I've been out here every day since my baby has missing around the clock. I may go home and take a shower, to change, to lay my head down for an hour. I had lost 10 pounds this week. It's not, I didn't even do it, but it's not the way I wanted to do it. Right. However, I don't know. It's been a nonstop search because I'm not giving up on my baby. That's right. Yeah, you know. Oh, you know I don't play about my children. That's right. You know I don't play about my children. Yeah. Oh, I am the mom of all moms. Yeah. Okay. The community, every one of my children's friends calls me mom. And I'm always willing to give my last or anything I have or overextend myself.
Fonda, this is her mother. You said, who is this? This is her mother.
For anybody. So just thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything. And just because I may not respond or anything, I still appreciate all of the descriptions that people are sending me, or just anything you have to offer. I'm gonna turn it over to that. But again, thank you everyone, just from me personally. Okay.
You're welcome. Lord, 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 Lord. And this is her dad.
Thank you all for coming out. I appreciate it. I get all the texts and I'm getting all the messages. I'm not responding to them. I'm trying, but I just want you all to know I appreciate everything you do, every post you put, everything, every little bit helps. So I definitely appreciate it. I'm gonna continue to look for it. I'm on it every day, knocking on doors, doing whatever it takes. Any help, any tip, anybody, see anybody, you think it's her, just call it. Don't even brush it off. This, and I appreciate it. I definitely, I really don't know what to say. This is my experience.
Wow.
I haven't slept. So, and I definitely appreciate each and every last one of y'all coming on.
All found missing is one too many.
Editing your podcast on Riverside is a no-brainer, and I want to show you why. Your podcast transcript is here.
And I'd like to say a prayer for Dacara. It's Psalm 91, a prayer of protection. So I'd like everyone to bow their heads and close their eyes. And as I speak the words, make sure it lands in your heart, creating a harvest on good ground so it can be sown, so you can believe. Amen.
Amen.
Heavenly Father, we thank you, Lord God, for this day, Lord. We know, Lord God, that you are a way maker, and everything we pray for in faith comes true. So, Lord, we pray the Psalms 91 for Dacara. We pray in it in the Passion Translation. When we abide under the shadow of Shaddai, we are hidden in the strength of God Most High. He's the hope that holds Dacara and the stronghold to shelter her, the only God for her and her great confidence.
You know, I'm Jolene Ivy, and I'm the mother of 5 sons. Yeah. And I can't imagine losing any one of them. Somebody, with my permission, took one of my kids for a couple of days, but she hid her cell phone in her, I don't know where, but she wasn't answering it. I was having a heart attack, and I was calling all the hospitals and police departments between here and Richmond. And when she finally called me, she was very nonchalant. And I was like, lady, I know I have 5 sons and you have 1, but there is not one of mine that I can lose.
That's right.
Right? So we are here with you. I can't imagine what you're going through. I really can't. And I'm just heartened by the prayers that I heard on the way in, because I remember being in church some years ago and there was a missing toddler and they couldn't figure out what happened to this little boy. And it turned out we were in church praying for this child. Well, the child had just wandered off into an empty apartment and gotten himself locked in. And they found him safe and sound. So it seemed like a miracle, but I believe God was there and God is here with
That's
you.
right.
So we're with you. Juanica said everything that needs to be said. I'll give you my cell if you need it. And, we'll be in touch. But my cell, you can take it down. It's 301 437.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Well, we're going to keep this family up in prayer no matter what. We're going to definitely keep our eyes open for any further updates, because this is becoming more and more the norm. More and more the norm. Unless you have lost a child under any circumstances, it is devastating. And I wouldn't wish that on anyone. They are our babies, no matter what has happened. That's so true. Oh, okay, y'all. Retretta says, yes, the people in this world, demonic spirits, are all around. She should have been reading Psalm 91 when she was alive. Dwelling in a secret place. Did she have secrets, or what really went wrong? Don't know. Don't know. But woulda, shoulda, coulda don't mean nothing at this point. She gone. And somebody got to pay for that. And I think everybody that's involved, not just the individual that took her life, but those that made it possible for him to do so and discard her life. They should be held accountable. Oh, yes, the truth will prevail, y'all. And that's what we need to pray for. Well, y'all, I'm going to end this live. It's got to be a little bit too emotional for me. Anybody that loses a child, doesn't matter how old they are, it tears your heart out. So just pray for the family. Pray for that community, because they're going to definitely need prayer. That family's going to need a lot of prayer, because this was awful. Exactly, child. Crystal, you said it. What happened to the value of life? Yes. All right, y'all. I'm about to shut this thing down. But you guys stay prayerful. Stay vigilant. I love all y'all. I'll be back tomorrow. So you have a wonderful evening. And just pray for this family. Pray for this whole country at this point. Society as a whole. Because we got some sick ass people up in here. Hold on. Faith said, Auntie, did you know a lot of those men were sent here from other countries because they were kicked out of their countries? Absolutely. They've been doing that for the longest. Cuba really did it. Remember that movie Scarface? Straight out of Cuba. They were sending them over here in droves. So ain't nothing changed under the sun. It's just unfortunate that mankind is turned into a lot of animals. They're not human anymore. They've become animals. And it's not just the illegals. There's some legal ones out there too. that are just animalistic. So with that said, I'm going to check out. You guys have a wonderful evening. I love you. God bless you. Peace.
Hey, Mickey. Oh, Mickey, you're so fine. So fine, you're on my mind. Oh, Mickey, you're so fine. So fine, you. Oh, Mickey, you're so fine.
Hit the like button. It don't cost you nothing.